want to believe the mom, too.
An FBI cadaver dog got a positive hit in the parents' bedroom near the bed.
That baby is pure. And we pray for her protection.
We need her home. I can't be without her.
Because we're grieving.
Tonight marks 3 weeks and more than 900 tips that have piled up in the frantic hunt for missing baby Lisa. Cops desperately searching for the 11-month-old girl. New, shocking information about her mother. Deborah is coming out tonight. An ex-friend says she thinks Deborah is a con artist. Listen to this.
I don't believe her. I just don't believe her because I know she can turn her cry on like that. I know she is a good con artist, a very good con artist.
But do 3 eyewitnesses saying they saw a man carrying a mostly naked baby in the dead of night and new surveillance video prove that, yes, the baby was kidnapped, possibly by a complete stranger? Cops now tell ABC.com, quote, "We need them," meaning the parents, "to sit down apart from each other with detectives and answer tough questions detectives have for them concerning what they may or may not know about anything. Who came and went the night Lisa disappeared? There's a whole list of things that they may know." All right, that's the cops. They want to talk to these parents separately. It's been 9 days since baby Lisa's parents sat down for a media interview. But yesterday, we finally heard from Deborah, the missing child's mother. Listen carefully to what she says.
Is it true that you're getting paid to avoid local reporters?
Not at all.
Then why won't you talk to us?
Because we're grieving.
Grieving. Grieving. That's the word she used. I thought baby Lisa was still missing, and her parents were still hopeful to find her alive. Was that a subconscious slip-up? What do you think? Call me 1-877-JVM says. 1-877-586-7297. Straight out to Sandra Endo, CNN reporter, live on the ground at the crime scene. You were there when Deborah, the mother, spoke. What did you see? What was the reaction?
It's very interesting, Jane, because we were in front of the home she's staying at, which is a relative's house, just 6-minute drive from her actual home. And we were there when the local reporter yelled out that question and heard those words, "We are grieving." It was interesting because we all kind of thought that's a interesting choice of words that she used. But clearly, I'm not a behavior expert, and I'll leave it up to those people to find out what goes through the mind of somebody who is in this situation. Now, I can tell you, Jane, that we have talked to the lawyer of the parents, Cindy Short, who says, look, this is a 25-year-old young mother devoted to her kids, loved baby Lisa, thought this child was going to bring her family full circle, reunite everyone in this family, and she just loved that baby so much, called her pumpkin pie, that she would never do something like this, and of course is just missing the baby desperately. Jane.
All right, let's take a look at the timeline. Thank you for that, Sandra. Deborah says her daughter, baby Lisa, was taken from her crib sometime after she put the child to bed at 6:40 p.m. And remember, she had originally said 10:30, and then she changed her story. Now, a neighbor says they saw a man walking down the street at 12:15 in the morning carrying a mystery baby. Then at 2:15 in the morning, there's gas station surveillance video showing a man that could be the very same man as the mystery man with the baby walking down the road. Finally, 4 a.m., about 3 miles from baby Lisa's house, a motorcyclist says he sees a mystery man walking around with a baby as well. So I want to bring in Jack Tremarco, a polygraph expert, retired FBI. What do you make of these baby sightings? And I can give you another little wrinkle here. The guy who saw the man, the mystery man with the baby at 4 in the morning, he says cops showed him 6 photos, and he picked one photo and said, that's the man that I saw. But then the other witness looks at the same photo and says, nah, that's not the guy.
Well, Jane, what we've got to understand is these are eyewitness identifications. And as we all know, they're fraught with error. Not to discount them, because the police have to do their investigations assuming that they've got a hot lead here until they can prove that it's either not accurate or fabricated.
Well, fabricated? Who fabricates a guy walking down the street with a baby? I mean, I don't think you make that up. I don't think all these witnesses didn't see anything. I don't think that points to nothing there. That's surveillance video from the gas station. Somebody saw this man. The question is, was he holding baby Lisa or not?
The question is, was he in concert with someone who lives at that house? Or was this an abduction? Was this an abduction with the parents completely uninvolved and unaware? Or is the abductor, if that is the abductor, somehow associated with the parents, and we're all covering for each other?
And this, Lauren Lake, criminal defense attorney, is why the cops want to talk to these parents separately. And the parents say, well, the detectives have their blinders on, words to this effect. Within an hour of talking to the mother, they basically accused her of murder. This is according to the family's reps. And we want new detectives on this case. We don't want these same old detectives talking to us. What do you make of that, Lauren?
Parents are frustrated. I think when they were first called in for questioning, within an hour, the mother was pretty much accused of doing something to her child. And I think at this point they've lawyered up. They have a lawyer, and their lawyer is advising them that you need to get off of defense and pretty much get on offense, meaning we set the terms, we're going to talk, we're going to cooperate, but we're not going to get into any type of questioning where they are completely hitting them over their head, disrespecting them, accusing them without foundation. And I think that's pretty much what we have here. Unfortunately, in the court of public opinion, it's playing against this mother and her husband, because most of us feel like if our child was missing, we'd be waving flags, running around outside, doing whatever we had to do to get information out. It's just not playing well to the public.
Yeah, and here's another thing that might not play so well. Deborah, the mother of the missing child, putting a new look forward. I want you to take a look and decide for yourself, okay? On the right, you can see Deborah right after baby Lisa was reported missing. And then take a look on the left at the vigil a couple of days ago. It looks like she's had, if not a makeover, that at least she's been to the salon. And then, of course, there's the original photo of her with her hair pulled back. What do you make of that, Jack Tremarco, if she's had her hair done up?
Well, Jane, when I was with the FBI working these type of cases, this type of behavior is unheard of. Usually, the mother and the father are concerned about the recovery, the safe recovery of the child, not coughing for the cameras.
Okay, now, speaking of talking to the cameras, we're hearing from Deborah's estranged husband. Okay, the man that she had this child with, who's now missing, is her live-in boyfriend, but she has a husband, okay, the father of her first child that she is still technically married to. He spoke to NBC's Today Show. Listen to what he had to say.
She has always been a good mom. I'm still confused by what's going on. This is craziness to me.
All right, so he's upset about this. Sandra Endo, CNN reporter, we've got so many different things happening, and one of the biggest things is that cadaver dogs hits on the bedroom of the mother's house where she was supposedly passed out on the floor after having at least 5 glasses of wine, and I think we do have video of the box of wine. And so you have that aspect as well, the forensic aspect. What can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. In terms of the investigation, Jane, we know that there are 30 to 50 investigators working this case right now. They're certainly not calling it a cold case. We're talking about FBI officials and Kansas Police Department. They did go in there and they brought in these dogs from Washington, D.C. because Kansas City Police Department doesn't even have a canine unit of its own. So they brought in these dogs, and that is when, as you mentioned, a cadaver dog made a positive hit on the scent of a dead body inside Deborah Bradley's bedroom on an area of the floor near her bed, and that is why they did an extensive 17-hour search of the home and the surrounding area. But if you listen to the lawyer of the family, she went inside the home and showed on video that police didn't take much. There was no carpet cut out around that area of the supposed hit. So certainly a lot of questions, and of course police are keeping very tight-lipped about the details of what they are investigating.
And the bottle of wine we showed you, or the box of wine, as it were, that's from NBC's Today Show. Now, Jack Tremarco, you would think they would cut out the area where they say a cadaver dog hit, but they didn't cut out the carpet. What does that mean?
I don't think that anything can be drawn from that, Jane. We don't know what they found. We don't know exactly where they found it. But it is a bit away from the norm when a defense attorney goes into the house and starts to criticize the crime scene investigators, what they took, what they didn't take at this stage. Perhaps the lawyers should stay with the law and let the investigators investigate the crime.
Well, it seems that there's a war of words going on between this family and law enforcement. And that's what's so confusing, Jack, because everybody's thinking, well, this mother should just do anything, basically just offer herself up in any way, shape, or form. Meantime, let's get back to this mystery man who was seen holding a baby, who was naked in 45-degree temperatures in the dead of night, the night that this child disappeared. There was another witness who saw what sounds like the exact same man as the first set of witnesses carrying a baby around. This male witness, who was on a motorcycle, saw this man with a baby at 4 in the morning the night baby Lisa went missing, which is the exact time, approximately, that the dad is calling 911 saying our child has been taken from our home. Listen to this from GMA.
4 o'clock in the morning, 45 degrees, the baby don't have a blanket, a coat, or nothing. And this guy's walking down the street. I thought it was kind of weird.
All right, here is the bizarre part about it. Okay, this is the location right here. You're taking a look at the actual place where this motorcyclist says he saw a man walking around with a baby at 4 in the morning at the very same time that the family is calling 911 and saying our baby has been taken. Now, Lauren Lake, the cops, according to this guy, showed him a photograph, a whole bunch of photographs, and he picked a man out of those photographs, and then somebody got a hold of those photographs and showed it to the first witness, and she said, no, that's not the guy at all. What do you make of that?
Well, I can't recall whether the second gentleman, what was his vantage point to the actual person?
He was on a motorcycle.
Okay, so he was probably a little bit closer than the witness that was looking out of the window. You know, it could possibly be just eyewitness differentiate. You know, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is the first guy, the person doesn't think it looks right. The second one says...